Hi everyone, welcome to Life is Not a Casserole Running YouTube channel. In today's episode, we are talking about what I've consumed a la They Live. So consume is basically a monthly roundup of things that I have been consuming, and I'm going to try to keep it kind of running related or things that I'm listening to while I'm running. But first we'll start with what am I literally consuming right now, and that is Shell's Oktoberfest. Yes, 'tis the season. Can you tell by my decor? Thanks, Mom. It's Oktoberfest. It's September. I am so excited. I love Oktoberfest. I love the Oktoberfest beer. I love polka music. I love it all. If you don't know, Shell's Brewery is in New Ulm, Minnesota, and this is as close to an authentic fest beer that you can get without literally ordering a fest beer in Germany. Shell's is a family brewery. It's very well established. It's been around for a long time. I can't remember the exact date, but we did tour it one year. It's been a few generations. And New Ulm has one of the best Oktoberfests probably in America. And next I want to talk about a book that I have been reading, which might surprise you, or if you know me, it probably won't surprise you, but it is Sports and Games of Medieval Cultures by Sally Wilkins. I have been thinking about medieval sports since I made that first video essay about the history of running apparel from 2000 BC to 1900 AD. And while I was researching for that video, I found it so difficult to find any information about sports in the medieval era or the Middle Ages. Everything online about the Middle Ages was like, everyone was at war all the time and so no one had fun ever, which I call bull. The Middle Ages was like 1,000 years long. You're telling me that no one ever had any fun ever? Medieval Europe alone, nobody ever had like one too many grogs and decided to have an impromptu wrestling tournament? Come on. So enter this book. This book was written for Greenwood Publishing, which basically publishes academic books that you would check out of a high school library to write your 5x5 essay for your history of sports class. So I wouldn't say it is a book that everybody would find interesting. It's very broad strokes, but I think that it's really interesting. And I think it's a really great jumping off point if you want an overview of a lot of different sports or games in medieval culture. And one of the things that I really like about this book so far is that it does not just cover Western Europe. There are sections on Asia, Africa, the Middle East. When I was looking online for a book about sports during the Middle Ages, it was really hard to find something that was not just Western Europe. And this was really the only one that I could find. So if anybody has any further recommendations of books about sports and running specifically, but sports in general is good during the Middle Ages, definitely leave them in the comments. I would look forward to that. So is it kind of dry? Yes, but I am a huge dork, so I find it really interesting actually. And with any luck, I may be able to learn enough to make a little video giving sports of the Middle Ages a little bit more representation on the internet. The next thing I have been consuming is not running related, but it's something that I have been listening to on my runs almost every single time I've been going out on a run lately. And that is the podcast You're Wrong About with the host, Sarah Marshall. I am in love with this podcast. I just learned about it a couple weeks ago, and I love that feeling of discovering a new podcast that you are just having so much fun with, and it's got tons of episodes for you to go through. So the podcast You're Wrong About covers a ton of different topics generally that people have misconceptions about, ranging from medieval torture to Martha Stewart. On their website, the description of the podcast says every week they reconsider an event, person, or phenomenon that's been miscast in the public imagination. I recently finished the 3-part episode about the Amityville horror story, which was awesome. And I am trying to exclusively listen to it while I'm running so I don't just consume it all. And during 50-mile training, some of my runs are going to be getting really, really long. So it's just such a luxury to have this podcast with all of these episodes that I'm really into. Okay, and last, I want to talk about something I have been eating, finishing out with another thing I am literally consuming. and that is Santiago cake. I've been making tarte de Santiago. It's so good and it's so easy. If you don't know what tarte de Santiago or Santiago cake is, it is a cake that is traditional to Galicia, Spain, a northwestern province of Spain, and it's made with almond flour and eggs. There is no rising agent in it at all. It's super simple, super good. I am not a baker, but I've made it like 3 times now. I will probably make a YouTube video about it in the future, so something to look forward to. And that does it for the September 2022 edition of Consume a la they live. I would love to know, what are you consuming this month? Are you loving it, hating it? Leave it in the comments. And if you are so inclined to like and subscribe, feel free. And take care, friends. Bye.